You're listening to part 1 of this audiobook. Enjoy the story? Part 2 and the rest of the story are available on Patreon. Go to Patreon and search for my page to continue listening. Now, let's begin part 1. Chapter 1 _ Catch up with LUG of the Great Crossing Era. See Circle Calendar 1520, The Unnamed Island of East Blue. LUG was awakened by the high-pitched sound of seagulls, and rubbed his eyes to get up. The infinite treasure chest system is locked, the world of One Piece / King of Pirates is confirmed, the host LUG is confirmed, and the fusion begins. At this moment, a mechanical voice entered LUG's ears. What is this? System, One Piece / King of Pirates, fusion? LUG captured the important information in this sentence. Could it be that? LUG raised his head and looked around, and found himself on a beach. Why didn't you sleep at home? Why did you come here? Have you also caught up with the trend of crossing? Moreover, I still traveled to my favorite world of One Piece / King of Pirates. After confirming this, LUG was not surprised but delighted. Anyway, he was an orphan on Earth, with nothing to worry about. He was just a poor student who studied hard and studied hard. In the past, he had dreamed that if he could give birth again, he would definitely change his way of life, which would be vigorous. He never thought that God actually gave him such an opportunity. A headache. At this moment, LUG felt like his head was about to explode. Fortunately, the process disappeared after a few seconds. The system was successfully bound. The world map was successfully entered, the portable space function was turned on, and the scanning function was turned on. The mechanical voice sounded again. After the binding was successful, a system panel appeared in LUG's mind. LUG looked at the system panel with ecstasy, and sure enough, the system is standard for traversers. If he has a system in this life, he is still in the world of One Piece / King of Pirates. He must live a good life. View treasure chest information. The treasure chest is divided into. Soon LUG figured out how to use the system, and he only needed to use his own thoughts to use it. Treasure chests are divided into 5 levels: black iron, bronze, silver, going, and diamond. There are various items in the heavens and the world that can be opened, and there will be labels on the treasure chest map. The next moment, LUG couldn't wait to check his location and the location of the treasure chest. Now he is on an unnamed island in East Blue, and there are 6 treasure chests on this unnamed island. They are 4 black iron and 2 bronze. LUG walked slowly along the beach, because there were 2 black iron treasure chests not far from him. 2 minutes later, a floating treasure chest appeared in front of LUG. Found treasure chest, collect/open. On. LUG doesn't have the hobby of collecting them and opening them together. Anyway, there are treasure chests that cannot be opened, which is impossible for LUG. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the panty of immortal fairy Lingyu, from the world of Inuyasha. Pfft. LUG, who had been looking forward to it for a long time, did not expect to open such a thing. This is for a basket. Although Sesshomaru's mother Lingyu Fairy is a beautiful woman, she is now on an isolated island in the world of One Piece / King of Pirates. At the same time, LUG was also convinced that his system was an indecent system. System, what does this thing do? Can be used for collection, or system recycling. Recycling. LUG didn't have any special hobbies, so he chose to recycle directly. Recycle to get 5 exchange points. Open the exchange mall. After hearing the sound of the system, LUG checked his panel, and sure enough, a new function appeared. Random treasure chests require 500 exchange points, welfare chests require 5,000 exchange points, and supreme treasure boxes require 50,000 exchange points. After seeing the exchange point behind the treasure chest, LUG felt bad. It's easier to pick up treasure chests first, and slowly save and exchange points. Soon, Lug came to the location of the second black iron treasure chest. Open. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a rusty samurai sword. Fortunately, although it is a rusty samurai sword, it can always increase his current combat effectiveness. Lug took the samurai sword and went to the bronze treasure chest. Because the remaining 2 black iron treasure chests were on the other side of the island, Lug decided to go check out the bronze treasure chests first. Enjoying part 1 so far? This is only the beginning. Part 2 and the rest of the story are available on Patreon. Go to Patreon and search for my page to continue the story. Now, let's continue. Chapter 2 Open the treasure chest and kill the boss. 10 minutes later, Lug slashed all the way to a cave with the samurai sword in his hand. And the bronze treasure chest marked by the system is inside. Lug walked in directly. Bang! With the sound of an animal's cry, Lug also ran out quickly. I'm going, such a big lizard, are you going to fight this guy by yourself? The lighting in the cave was not bad. After Lug entered, he saw an elephant-like lizard, which scared him to run away. I'm just a high school student, although during military training, I also practiced military boxing with the instructor. But to face such a behemoth, it is simply courting death. Is it hard to let yourself take this rusty samurai sword and fight it with hard steel? And the big lizard just caught up to the entrance of the hole and went back directly. But Lug, who was running wildly, didn't pay attention to this. His only thought now was to leave quickly, the farther the better. Unconsciously, he ran to the position of the third black iron treasure chest. Found treasure chest, opened/received. Turn on. After hearing the sound of the system, Lug realized that there was no sound behind. Turning around and looking behind him, there was no sign of the large lizard. So in order to celebrate the rest of his life after the catastrophe, open a treasure chest and talk about it. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the torrential rain pear blossom, which comes from the Tang sect in Sichuan, and can release 108 poisonous needles after use. Finally a powerful thing is here. Sure enough, Lug, who almost lost his life, also sighed with emotion. With this thing, what little lizard is still not caught? Lug was playing a little tune and was in a good mood. When you open the treasure chest, you have to take advantage of it, go ahead and open another treasure chest. Because another treasure chest is not far away. On. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the turtle shell of the turtle fairy, from the world of Dragon Ball, it is useless. Hearing the introduction of the system is really a sincere introduction. Recycle. Recycling is successful, you will get 200 exchange points. When he heard the prompt tone, Lug felt that this thing was not useless, it could be used for exchange points. To know that Immortal Fairy Lingyu's panty is only worth 5 points, I really don't know how the system calculates it. But at this time, Lug was not in the mood to think about it. But there are 2 white and tender bronze treasure chests waiting for him. With the rainstorm pear blossom, Lug completely forgot his embarrassment just now, and set off in high spirits. Soon, Lug came out of the cave again. Bang! Lug picked up a large stone and threw it directly into the cave. He didn't want to go in and have a face-to-face contact with the lizard. After all, although the space inside is not small, what should I do if I shoot myself a pear flower needle in the rainstorm? Bang! With the sound of the stone falling, an angry roar came out. After seeing that it was the person who had disturbed him before, the big lizard's face also showed a fierce color. I won't let this guy go this time. Okay, I know you're very angry. But, haven't you heard a word? I would rather recruit the Lord of Hell, don't mess with Tang Menlin. Rainstorm pear blossoms. Lug took out the rainstorm pear blossom he had obtained, and said with a. At this time, Lug really has a feeling that millions of people will go to me. The next moment, Lug opened the machine in his hand and threw it out. Although Lug had never used this thing before, but after opening the treasure chest, he had a way of using this thing in his mind. Looking at a small thing thrown by Lug, the big lizard didn't notice it at all. Whoosh! 108 poisonous needles instantly enveloped the big lizard, and 2 seconds later, all the pear blossoms in the rainstorm shot out. This thing is really explosive. It directly shoots the big lizard, and wears it. The big lizard felt as if it was attacked by something, but except for a little pain, it was fine. Ang! At this time, the big lizard's attention was also shifted to Lug's body and attacked quickly. Seeing the big lizard rushing over, Lug couldn't care less about pretending to be forceful, so hurry up and run. But the furious lizard was super fast, and jumped in front of Lug with one leap. Ang! The big lizard instantly opened its big mouth and bit down. With a gust of wind, Lug also looked up and saw this big mouth, and subconsciously raised his samurai sword. But after waiting for a long time, there was no impact. After Lug opened his eyes, he found that the guy was not moving. Ah, this is, wow, haha, I'll just say, I would rather recruit the Lord of Hell, don't mess with Tang Menlin. Why did I forget, this thing is poisonous. Looking at the black blood flowing out of the lizard, Lug just remembered, he just said in the introduction, this thing is poisonous. After killing the big lizard, Lug couldn't wait to run into the cave to find his treasure chest. Seeing the 2 bronze treasure chests floating there, Lug wiped the saliva from his mouth and walked over slowly. Open the treasure chest. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a tricky face, from the House of Darkness, which can change his appearance. Congratulations to the host for getting the Zippo limited edition lighter. Is this the end? What about my devil fruit? What about my famous sword? A mask, a lighter, and I almost died in the mouth of a large lizard. Ding! The host opens all the treasure chests on the map and gets a special treasure chest. Do you want to open it? Just when Lug was lost, the sound of the system sounded again in his ears. Chapter 3_Meet Garp, Go to Windmill Village. 3 days later. Lug burned a pile of firewood and roasted the rabbit he hunted. Looking at the ring on my finger, I can barely use this thing normally in 3 days. The special treasure box that was finally obtained actually opened the water dragon. This emperor from the world of Crimson Eyes comes with the ability to control water and control liquids. The trick is to kill with a blood knife. At the beginning, Lug was so excited that he ran directly to the beach to play in the water. Watching a water dragon flying, let alone how handsome it is. But after being handsome for a short time, Lug fainted instantly. Since Lug is using the Emperor tool for the first time, although he can use all the moves, his mental power is not enough. After waking up, Lug was alive again because of the influence of the rules of the pirate world. In order to prevent this from happening again, Lug began to practice using the water dragon. This caused all the rabbits and snakes on the island to become his food. The most important thing is that Lug found that he seemed to have a great appetite. For the first time, he beat 3 rabbits and 2 snakes, and he ate them all by himself. And there was no feeling of holding back at all. The world of pirates is so wonderful, perhaps this is also related to everyone's constitution. Whoa whoa whoa! At this moment, a small boat stopped on the shore. An old man walked down slowly. Little brother, can I use your fire to bake a senbei? Hearing this voice, Lug raised his head subconsciously. I'm going, Garp Vice Admiral. Lug called out the name subconsciously. Oh, my little brother still knows me. It seems that the old man is not too old, and a little guy like you knows me. Come, I will treat you to eat senbei. Cow was also laughing, and at the same time, the signature style S-line, please eat senbei. Thank you Garp Vice Admiral. Why are you here? Lug also had a puzzled look on his face. This guy is not staying at the marine headquarters, what is he doing with East Blue? There are no pirates here who need someone like Garp. I'm here to see my grandson. By the way, do you want to join our marine? Garp explained his intentions. He stayed with the bank for 3 words and invited Lug to join the team. At the same time, he also skewered the senbei in his hand with a wooden stick and roasted it over the fire. At this time, Lug was so excited, Marine Vice Admiral Garp invited himself to join Marine. It's exciting to think about it, but Lug doesn't plan to join Marine. Because after joining the Marine, no matter how strong they become, as long as the Gorsei/5 elders have an order, they must protect those Tenryubito who are inferior to beasts. At the thought of Kuzan's departure, Garp ignored the world. Lug quickly suppressed his excitement and dismissed the idea of joining Marine. Garp Vice Admiral, it's an honor to receive your invitation, but I won't be joining Marine. Lug also expressed his thoughts. Father, let's go. At this time, a voice came from the boat again. Lug was even more excited when he heard this voice. This is a dragon. It seems that the dragon has not left Marine yet, which means that Luffy and the others are still little kids. Okay, here we go. Seriously, I can't even eat something hot, Garp said, complaining on his face. Garp Vice Admiral, can you take me with you? My boat was overturned by the waves and drifted here. I don't know where this place is now, so. Lug asked expectantly. We're going to the windmill village in the Goya Kingdom, do you want to stop by? Garp asked Lug's words directly. Lug nodded fiercely. What route should I follow? My home is on Earth, so I guess there is no place to go along with my home. Even so, now Lug wants to see our protagonist San Xiaoqiang. And where they are, there must be a lot of treasure chests. Thinking of the treasure chest, Lug's mouth was also hooked. Ha ha ha, remember the food at home? Let's go, let's go. Garp threw the senbei in his hand into his mouth and boarded the boat. Lug also followed quickly. Goodbye, my birthplace. Chapter 4 Arrive at Windmill Village. 3 days later. Uncle Garp, stop, I smell treasure. After hearing Lug's words, Garp and Long both twitched the corners of their mouths. Before this guy gets to an island, he will go up to a pile of things. It was the first time I brought back a box of Kuajiao 1573, which made both of them satisfied their appetite. But then this guy brought back a can of some kind. The two thought it was some kind of food. After opening it, they almost didn't smoke them to death. To this day, I can still recall that smell. Stinky boy, if you bring back any stinky things, I'll throw you off the boat. Listening to Garp's roar behind him, Lug also looked helpless. Who knows what this treasure chest will open? The canned herring that was opened last time is comparable to a biological weapon. No wonder Garp and Dragon have such expressions. Using the water dragon, Lug, who soon came to the island, also started his treasure hunt. There are 3 treasure chests here, 1 bronze and 2 black iron. Sure enough, there was a big rhino next to the bronze treasure chest. After several experiences of obtaining treasure chests, Lug concluded a truth, that is, treasure chests of bronze level and above will have guardians. Although I haven't encountered a silver treasure chest, it can be speculated that it must be a stronger guardian. After successfully killing the rhino, Lug also found all 3 treasure chests. System, all on. Congratulations to the host for getting Joan of Arc's hat, from the Fate world. It's useless. Congratulations to the host for getting a box of skin rejuvenating body wash, from the earth. After using it, the skin will become extremely smooth. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the devil fruit, burning fruit, from the world of One Piece/King of Pirates. I'm going, the character has exploded, and I actually got the burning fruit. Lug looked at the flame-like fruit in his hand and couldn't help but say it. Unexpectedly, the last bronze treasure chest actually opened a devil fruit. After a short period of excitement, Lug was also puzzled. Doesn't it mean that only one of each devil fruit exists? In other words, what would Ace do if he took this fruit himself? Forget it, let's take one step at a time. Lug put away the devil fruit, retrieved Joan of Arc's hat, and returned directly to the ship. What is it this time? Garp looked at the box on Lug's shoulder and said with a wary expression. You must know that the canned herring last time, but he didn't eat scallops for a long day. You can imagine how devastating this is for Garp. Good stuff this time, but neither of you will use it. This is... Lug also took a bottle of shower gel and handed it to them, and then told the effect. In this way, under the protection of the two super strong men, Lug went to Windmill Village while opening the treasure chest. When we arrived at Windmill Village, it was already 5 days later. After 8 days of living at sea, Lug finally set foot on his first stop in the pirate world. After seeing the large and small treasure chests on the map, Lug could not wait to set off to open the treasure chest immediately. But it's still not enough. After all, he disappeared as soon as he arrived on the island. Even if Garp is crazy, he will doubt it. Besides, Garp isn't really a bigot. Brother Lug, are you with us, or are you acting alone? Although this guy's behavior is a little weird, Garp still finds this guy very pleasing to the eye, so he also asks. I'll come with you. After all, I don't know where to go for the time being. Lug gave the answer directly. Just kidding, you have to know that there are 2 bronze treasure chests in Caledon's location. With Garp and the others leading the way, I wouldn't have to go there and be beaten out. With Carly Dodden. Chapter 5_Meet Luffy. After a while, Lug and the others came to Carly Dodden's house. Yo, Carly, do you want to eat senbei? After meeting Carly Dodden, Garp still invited others to eat senbei as always. I don't know how much hatred I have with senbei to love me so much. Bang! The 3 little guys went out and don't know when they will be back. Wait. Also, I don't eat senbei. Carly Dodden put 3 glasses of beer in front of Garp and said slowly. Ha ha ha, you still. Garp also chatted with Carly Dodden directly, but at this time Lug couldn't do it anymore. You know, the 2 bronze treasure chests are in the opposite room. Now that the opening distance is not enough, Lug is scratching his heart like a cat. Uncle Garp, I want to make it easier. Seeing that Garp was talking, Lug didn't want to stop, so he had to say something to interrupt him. Little devil, just turn left when you go out. Carly Dodden also said directly. Lug heard Carly Dodden's words, he also slipped out directly. According to the system's urination, that room must be Carly Dodden's room. If he broke in by himself, he would definitely be beaten to death. Thinking of Carly Dodden's angry look, Lug also shuddered. Let's go to other treasure chests first. After all, it's not just Carly Dodden's house that has treasure chests. Soon, Lug came to the front of a house again. There is a bronze treasure chest in it. Lug thought about it, and directly took out the strange face, transformed into a dragon and walked in. Found the treasure chest, please confirm the income/open. Confirm on. Congratulations on getting a piece of QQ Farm Gold Land, which can be used to grow plants, accelerate the growth of plants, and improve the quality of plants. After seeing this item, Lug suddenly had a bold idea. You must know that there is a gluttony forest in the Boeing Islands, but there are many precious seeds there. You know, Usopp relies on this to greatly improve his combat effectiveness. Therefore, Lug temporarily included the Golden Land in his own space. Who are you? Why are you in our room? Just as Lug put the Golden Land in his portable space, a young voice came from behind him. Luffy. Lug turned around and saw the child behind him. It was actually San Xiaoqiang. You know me, who are you? Hearing Lug calling out his name, Luffy also asked suspiciously. Although Luffy's name was called out, the nerve-wracking guy disarmed, but Sabo and Ace still looked at themselves defensively. I came here with your grandfather. He is with Carly Dodden now. He seems to have brought a lot of delicious food here. Let me come and call you. Lug also moved out of Garp directly. Delicious. When the three heard this, saliva flowed from the corners of their mouths. After all, they are children, and they have no resistance to delicious food. Plus Luffy ran away when he heard it was delicious. Ace and Sabo also know that if they go late, the food will be eaten up by the foodie Luffy. So the three of them dropped Lug directly and ran to Callie Dodden's room quickly. After watching the three disappear, Lug also lifted the effect of the tricky face. Here are the three treasure chests, 2 are in Carly Dodden's room and 1 is here. After Lug sorted out his emotions, he also returned to Garp's side again. At this time, Garp was not a Marine Vice Admiral, but a grandpa. Although the dragon is still the same high-cold look, there is also a hint of softness in his eyes. Chapter 6 Get 36 Strategies, Talk to the Dragon. A day later, Lug still hadn't found a way to enter Carly Dodden's room. This woman doesn't seem to be here all day long, she's even more nerdy than a senior otaku. The bored Lug sat alone in a big tree. At this time, Lug suddenly found a tiptoe in sight. Taking a closer look, it was actually Luffy. Shouldn't he be collecting treasures with Ace and the others now, preparing to save money and go to sea? Lug, who was puzzled, also followed. This guy actually entered Callie Dodden's house, this is. Seeing that Luffy was about to run away with a bunch of snacks, Lug also had a smile on the corner of his mouth. The opportunity came. He jumped directly in front of Luffy and punched Luffy directly in the head. Bang! It hurts, who? Big brother Lug, you, I. Luffy said here, subconsciously running. Okay, don't run. Doing such a thing is not what a pirate should do. As a pirate, you must be open and honest to get what you want. Lug directly grabbed Luffy's collar and carried him into Callie Dodden's house. Mrs. Carly, the boy. Okay, I understand. Let him go, this thing was originally given to him on purpose. Otherwise, how could this kid take things under my nose? Callie Dodden still squinted his eyes said slowly. Hearing Callie Dodden's words, Lug also took Luffy out. Let go of me, I'm going to find Ace, Sabo. After leaving Callie Dodden's room, Luffy began to struggle again. Lug also let go of Luffy directly, after all, he already got what he wanted. Just after entering Callie Dodden's room, Lug immediately put away 2 bronze treasure chests. Now he doesn't have time to talk to Luffy about the ideal of One Piece/King of Pirates. The first thing he has to do now is go back to his room and open the treasure chest. After returning to the room, I found that the dragon was also there. But it doesn't matter. Long and the others can't see the treasure chest. Lug had already tested it when he came here. In addition, Long is a taciturn person, and he will not disturb his private meeting with the treasure chest. Gods from all walks of life, bless you to open an artifact. System, open 2 bronze treasure chests. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 36 strategies. It comes from the earth and records some strategies in ancient times. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Armament Haki Training Manual. From the world of One Piece/King of Pirates, from the hands of XXX powerhouses. After seeing these 2 things, Lug was also surprised. The next moment, 2 books appeared in Lug's hands. It is also after exposure to these things that automatically come to mind. Congratulations to the host for turning on the progress viewing function. At this moment, Lug found that a function appeared in his mind again. Armament Haki, Training Progress 1/100. 36 counts, Comprehension Progress 1/100. At this time, Long also glanced at the book in Lug's hand curiously. Lug also noticed Long's eyes, and at the same time, a wonderful idea appeared in his mind. I said, "What is your view of the world, dragon?" After hearing Lug's words, Long was also surprised. View? I'm just for my own justice, nothing else. Long replied directly. Hearing Long's words, Lug didn't respond, just looked at him with a smile. If you have something to say, just say it, don't stare at me like that. I don't like the current world, my dream is to overthrow the rule of Tenryubito and establish a. At that time, no matter which institution in the world, all the incumbents will need to be elected by the people, every 3 years. Once. Lug knew that Long would create a revolutionary army in the future, so he shamelessly moved out the system of modern society. Chapter 7 Open random chests to get Senbonzakura. After hearing Lug's words, a different look appeared on Long's face. Who is this guy? At first, I just thought this kid was acting strangely, so I didn't care too much. But the words that come out of his mouth now are not words that a normal young man can say. Who are you? Long said hoarsely because he was often reticent. I'm Lug. Lug didn't answer Long's words directly, but asked the donkey to answer the horse. Hearing Lug's answer, Long also knew that this obviously didn't want to answer his question. So I didn't ask much, just took out a small notebook and recorded what Lug said just now. Brother Long, I have something here that I can borrow for you to transcribe. Lug said, and also handed the 36 tricks in his hand to Long. You know, you can still improve your understanding through this. The most important thing is that this thing can also become a redemption point after my understanding is full. Long took the book from Lug's hand and opened the first page. The first of the 36 strategies is to hide the sky and cross the sea. This refers to crossing the sea without letting God know in broad daylight. It describes the great deception and lies, and all kinds of deception methods are used. In the 17th year of Zhenguan, Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty, the imperial expedition. After reading the first page, the dragon simply couldn't stop. Although he didn't know what Tang Taizong's 17th year of Zhenguan was, the descriptions here also included explanations of battle cases, so it shouldn't be too vivid. This made Long Ruo, who had originally wanted to get out of the marine, ignored Lug at all, and threw himself into the 36 strategies. Seeing this, Lug also got up and left the house directly. Because he knew that it was impossible to let Long, the knowledge-hungry child, leave the book now, so he left alone. After all, there are still many treasure chests on this island. Now is not the time to play here, the world of One Piece / King of Pirates is bloody and passionate. But with this, there are countless dangers. If you can't quickly improve your strength, and then die before you get out of school, it's not a fun thing. After leaving Calidodon's house, Lug checked the location of the nearest treasure chest, and then set off directly. Open the treasure chest. Congratulations to the host, get a drop of seawater from the world of One Piece / King of Pirates. Open the treasure chest. Congratulations to the host, for obtaining the technique of seduction, from the world of Naruto, the SSS level ninjutsu of the protagonist Naruto. After opening the last black iron treasure chest on this island, it was already night. Sure enough, the contents of the black iron treasure chest really have everything. Even the trick of seduction has been developed. Is this to make myself like Naruto and use this ultimate trick to tempt Auntie? Although it was of no use for the time being, Lug still used this technique. Much better than a drop of seawater after all. After recycling these useless things, Lug also found that his exchange point now has 500 points. In other words, he is about to open the first random treasure box in his life. After walking to a tree hole, Lug rubbed his hands excitedly. System, exchange for random treasure chests. Congratulations to the host for getting a random treasure chest, confirm the deduction of 500 exchange points. Do you confirm to open it? Confirm on. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Zanpakut Senbonzakura, from the world of Shinigami, Kokaki Byakuya's Zanpakut. Possesses Shikai, Scatter, Senbonzakura. Bankai Senbonzakura, Jinjian. Jinjian is divided into 3 types. When he heard the sound of the system, Lug was sluggish. What did he hear? He actually drove out Senbonzakura, Senbonzakura. This is called the most beautiful Zanpakut, and its various attacks should not be too strong. Use. After a short delay, Lug also chose to use it. The next moment, a snow-white longsword appeared in Lug's hand. Swastika. Originally, Lug wanted to use Bankai impatiently, but when he remembered that when he used the water dragon, he directly emptied his mental power, so he pressed the idea. It's night now, let's go back and rest. After all, running around the island at night is no fun. After returning to Kali Darden's door, Lug found a group of marines surrounded there. It seemed that Garp's men finally caught up after 3 days. Chapter 8 Garp, the dragon leaves, ready to rob the bandit king. Garp Vice Admiral, the headquarters told us to return to the voyage. One of the leading was standing in front of Garp reporting the latest situation. Of course, Garp's attention is still on the senbei in his hand. Garp Vice Admiral. Ah? I'm sorry, what were you talking about just now? Garp also threw the senbei in his hand into his mouth, and looked at the in front of him with a confused look. Headquarters. Soon, Garp put on his justice and walked out. Little brother Lug, I'm leaving. If you think about it, come to me at any time. By the way, I'll treat you to Xianbei. The original goodbye was still very serious, but after this sentence, it suddenly changed. Thanks Uncle Garp, I will definitely find you when I have the chance. Lug also said directly. Ha ha ha, boy, haven't you come up with anything during this time? Garp also looked at Lug with a puzzled look. No, you. Don't lie to me, my nose can be very smart, you have a smell of seafood on your body. Garp said again. Hearing this, Lug also breathed a sigh of relief. Garp knew about the 36 tricks he gave Long, and he took out a can directly in his arms. Don't tell me, this is the thing from last time, right? Looking at the can in Lug's hand, Garp said with some lingering fears. The end, Lug gave Garp all the canned abalone fish he got and bid him farewell. After returning to his room, Lug saw his 36 strategies and a note on the table. Brother Lug, after listening to your words, I think it's time to do something. Marine's justice is not mine, so I'm going to form a revolutionary army, and I'm going to enforce my own justice. The world I am talking about is the world that I will set up in the future. If you come to join one day, the position of Chief of General Staff of the Revolutionary Army will definitely be reserved for you. After seeing the above sentence, Lug also touched his nose helplessly. Before, I just wanted to pretend to be in front of the dragon, but I didn't expect that the Revolutionary Army was formed in advance. He now also knows why Garp looked obedient to himself just now, and he must have seen it. Fortunately, Garp didn't blame him at the time, otherwise he wouldn't be able to bear Garp's iron fists. Lug just lay down and rested. In the morning tomorrow, he will continue to go to the treasure chest on Lingsing Island. The next day. Brother Lug, you said there is really a treasure there? Luffy asked slowly, following behind Lug's ass. There must be, by the way, you have to hide when you get there, otherwise my plan will not be implemented. Lug also said to San Xiaoqiang. Originally, Lug wanted to come out by himself, but Luffy bumped into it. Later, when I heard about the treasure, the 3 of them had to go with Lug. Higama, the self-proclaimed bandit king. Although this guy had beaten up a red-haired man, in Lug's heart, he was just an arrogant frog at the bottom of a well. Due to the fact that he started to practice armament haki, Lug's constitution and speed have been greatly improved. At the same time, he also wants to see what kind of strength he is now. Soon, everyone reached their destination. It is marked on the map that there are 3 treasure chests, 1 black iron and 2 bronze. You hide here. After I'll lure them out in a while, you'll go and empty their treasures. If there is 1 Bailey left, I won't take you out in the future. Guaranteed to complete the task. At this time, even the most calm ace had an excited look on his face. You know, things like robbing Higama are not too exciting. Chapter 9 Infiltrating the Bandit's Nest. Ha ha ha, boss, we just snatched this woman back, look. That's right, lock them all up, and sell them all when the slave ship comes over. Higama drank the rum in his hand with a satisfied smile on his face. Boss, such a beautiful woman, boss, you bastard, this is the cargo. If we destroy the cargo ahead of time and they find it, we will die very badly. Remember, you want the woman to hold the money and treasure museum by herself. If anyone moves the cargo, I will let it go. He has also become a commodity. Higama interrupted his younger brother's words and said solemnly. Soon, the woman was taken into a cage. Sister, don't be afraid, these beasts won't do anything to us. My name is Amy, how did you become a man? Amy originally wanted to pay attention to the woman who was brought in, but found that he had suddenly become a man. Hello, Sister Amy, my name is Lug. I didn't get caught, but planned to come in. Lug said slowly. In the morning, after Lug explained what happened to Luffy and the others, he put on a tricky face and turned himself into a Tashigi crush. Then he used the seduction technique to change his figure. Sure enough, when Lug passed outside the gate of Bandit King, he was immediately arrested. Then who are you? Amy still looked at Lug with a wary expression. I'm here to save you. Are you all from Windmill Village? Lug also asked directly. I'm from Windmill Village. There are also Huawa Village and Zion Bay Village here. We were all captured by bandits. Are you Marine? Is Marine coming to us? Amy heard Lug say he was here to save them, and he was very happy to ask. I'm not Marine, well, you guys stay here for now. Someone will unlock the lock for you later. After Lug finished speaking, he reached out and held the door lock directly. Crack! Just slammed the door lock off. Seeing that Lug had left, the girls did not dare to move at will. After all, those bandits are very scary. If this person doesn't succeed, we will be abused by Higama again. Lug also understood this, so he didn't want to tell them to leave. After all, the weakest and helpless in this world are such women. In this world where the strong live, they are like goods. Even if a stranger appeared and said that he wanted to save them, except for the surprise of being rescued in Amy's eyes, everyone else was dumbfounded. Looking at this situation, Lug is also determined to change the world. Such a beautiful world should not have such evil. You must know that Lug's mother was kidnapped and sold by traffickers, so his father died in depression. In the end, his life became extremely miserable. Even in high school, I still have to work, study and support from the government to barely maintain it. For human traffickers, Lug has zero tolerance in his heart. After successfully leaving here, Lug also used his water dragon to kill a bandit quietly and silently. At the same time, he also used the tricky face to turn into a bandit and put on his clothes. With Lug's current mental strength, he will finally not faint again after using the water dragon. But it is still not possible to use it at will, after all, the consumption of the body and spirit is not small. Ha ha ha, come and. Soon, Lug came to the place where Higama was. At this time, everyone was drinking and eating meat. In front of them were two men who looked tired, waving the long knives in their hands and performing real-life fighting for Higama and the others. Bafa, you don't look at the dungeon well, what are you doing here? At this moment, a bandit grabbed Lug's shoulder and asked slowly. Isn't this out of wine? I want to come up and find some wine to drink. Lug also lied casually. Oh, that's it, then go to Boss Higama and tell me that you guard the dungeon every day. Boss Higama will not refuse such a request. The man also directly pulled Lug and went to Higama's place. It's not easy for Lug to refuse at this time. After all, if he refuses, it's easy to arouse suspicion. Boss Higama, Bafa he wants. Boss, this person is not Bafa, someone pretends to be. He said he wanted to come up for a drink, but Bafa is the only one in our place who doesn't drink. With Lug after arriving in front of Higama, he instantly moved away from Lug and shouted loudly. After hearing the thief's words, Lug also looked helpless. Don't think so. The guy who killed himself happened to be the only one among the bandits here who didn't drink. Chapter 10 I'm here to give a gift. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect to make such a big mistake. Seeing that the matter was exposed, Lug also regained his body shape. Of course, there was still the sly face that was crying and laughing on his face. Who are you? Come to my bandit king Higama, what are you doing? After hearing Lug's words, Higama also picked up his long knife and asked angrily. Although there was anger on his face, Higama showed no anger in his actions. You must know that although this guy is arrogant, he also knows who he can offend and who he cannot offend. This is the reason why he has been entrenched here for so many years, but has not been wiped out by the government. I'm GLU, I'm here to give you a gift this time. After Lug finished speaking, he took out a large box in his own space. After seeing Lug's actions, Higama's vigilance became stronger. You must know that he didn't find out, where did Lug take out this box? In other words, this guy is very likely to be a capable person. Go and open it up and see. Higama said to a younger brother beside him. The younger brother walked directly to the box and pried open the box with his own knife. Boss, there are cans of fish inside. The younger brother said directly to Higama after seeing the contents. At this time, another younger brother appeared beside Higama and whispered something in his ear. Canned fish? Are you kidding me? Kill my subordinates, rob my goods, and use this to settle things? Higama also knew at this time that Bafa was dead. Also, his dungeon was destroyed, but only one woman was missing. Yeah, I just want to settle you guys with this. Water spout. After Lug finished speaking, he directly activated the water spout. Immediately mobilize all the drinks here, although the power is not large, it will not hurt anyone. But Lug's purpose is not to hurt people with this water spout. The next moment, the waterspout rushed directly to the can. And when everyone was attracted by the waterspout, Lug ran away. The scene later is not something he can control, so hurry up and run. Boom! After the waterspout blasted the can, the entire box exploded. Then a refreshing smell instantly filled the whole house, and everyone who had just been drinking and eating meat just lay on the ground and vomited. This is the canned herring that Lug obtained before. The previous can made Garp and Long a psychological shadow. Not to mention it's a box now. Give me, ugh, chase that guy and I'm going to kill him. Ugh! Higama shouted as he vomited. Soon, the crowd followed. However, after running a few steps, someone could not help but fall on the ground and vomit. The people at the front are okay. Because of the wind, they don't feel as bad as the people at the back. Especially Higama at the back, immediately resisted the urge to vomit and rushed to the front. After everyone left the cottage, 3 small figures also touched it. And Lug also successfully got the 2 bronze treasure chests beside Higama. System, open 3 treasure chests. Congratulations to the host, getting the bandits' stinky boots, it's useless. Congratulations to the host, you have obtained a progress card. From the system, you can improve the master's proficiency. Congratulations to the host, get a big money bag, get 1,000,000 Bailey. Retrieve the stinky boots and use the progress boost to get stuck on armament hacky. After hearing the system's prompt, Lug also said instantly. Successful use, armament hacky's training progress is 15%. After hearing the system's prompt tone, Lug also stopped his steps. You know, people here don't have the concept of hacky yet. Lug, whose proficiency has reached 15%, can already condense armament on his fist. With such a powerful armament, how many bandits are you afraid of? You've reached the end of Part 1. Want to know what happens next? Part 2 and the rest of the story are available on Patreon. Go to Patreon and search for my page to continue listening. Join Patreon and continue the story from Part 2. Thank you for listening and supporting the channel.